Oh, this is our intro. Steve and Dave.
Dave and Steve.
Talking about men's issues. Steve and Dave.
Dave and Steve.
We couldn't afford to get a professional intro.
David! It's Dave and Steve. Dave and Steve back for a number 5 and...
Fucking number
there's
5.
murder on the dance floor.
Yeah, there will be in a minute if they don't shut the fuck up.
Number 5, big boy.
Parenting. We're going to talk about parenting.
I didn't think we were doing parenting. Are you changing it?
No, that's what you said, parenting.
You changed it.
No, I've not.
He changed
no,
it.
I've not.
He did.
No, I've not. So that is, I think, a mix of being parented and being a parent. Okay. You see your little face like you
I didn't look at it. Let's take that, isn't it?
Yeah, take that.
Like above me.
Oh, you're like proper Gary Barlow when you're singing like that.
Big fat face.
Gary Barlow.
Gary Barlow.
Yeah. So, parents and being parented.
I didn't even look at it from that point of view.
No, you didn't.
If you let me finish, then what we can do is we can have a real
okay.
adult conversation. You've got tiny hands. You've got the tiniest hands in the world.
They're fat. They're like sausage fingers.
Sausage fingers. Can you do intricate work with them?
No.
What's the most intricate thing you can do?
Probably play with my wife's bean. That's probably the most intricate thing that I can do. I mean, I can't roll cigarettes. I can't defuse bombs. I can't sew. Anything like that. I can't thread an eye through a needle. No, I can't thread through the eye of a needle. I can't use chopsticks.
You just use your fingers.
Well, yeah, I mean, I could, but
to come back to what you said originally, right at the beginning.
Yeah,
I'm surprised you know where that is.
Well,
maybe that should be maybe that's a podcast on its
finding
the bean.
Finding the bean, yeah.
Not the haricot bean or the
black-eyed pea. No, yeah. I mean, maybe I haven't found it. Maybe I haven't. Maybe she's just kind. It's on the forehead, isn't it? If I remember.
Yeah. Just above the. Well, on yours, fucking
the way up high.
See, I.
What?
Just your hands.
Yeah.
Just tiny little hands.
Tiny. So I'm a parent.
I don't feel like a parent. 2 kids.
You got 2 kids.
Well,
how old are yours?
21 and 17.
Fuck. And you're a lot older than me as well. As we know.
You're nearly 39, as you like to point out. I'm not sure why nearly.
Yeah, it's because my nan asked me. And I... so I got a 17-year-old who was 17 4 days ago. That's going to be a bit weird now. So, because,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, obviously we're recording these a little bit early.
But it could have still been 4 days ago.
It could have been, yeah. Then I've got another daughter whose birthday is in 10 days.
We're good. We don't need to know like the ins and outs of, the duck's arse.
Okay. Oh, just trying to get that. There we go. And then I got a son.
Are you okay?
I got a son who's 11, and do you know what?
They're top kids, by the way.
They are fantastic kids, but I do struggle with being a dad. Like being enough for them.
Yeah.
And then sometimes being too friendly. Like
There's a what? Yeah, do you want to go there?
Being like pally with them. You know what I mean?
Do you want to go there?
Yeah, being pally with them.
How pally are you?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think you can't be their best mates, can you?
No, it's a real. All joking aside, there is a real fine line between. We'll have to get my kids on one day.
Yeah,
and also we'll get all of them on.
Yeah.
I was just thinking from an adult sort of child point of view, if that makes sense. But it doesn't matter, does it? Sorry. There's a real fine line between what are you doing? Between being too friendly, being too matey, and being a parent. I've walked that line like all my life with my kids.
Yeah.
But they've turned out pretty good kids. People was...
Oh, you've got lovely kids.
Thank you.
Like, really nice.
When I was growing up, I always thought, your parents know everything. Like, they're like the Google. You'd ask your parents something and they're going to know the answer. And then fast forward like 30 years, when I've got kids, I'm thinking, oh, my kids don't think that about me.
They do.
Because I haven't got a clue.
You do, though. You say you...
Don't I? Do I?
Say you don't know anything, but of course you do.
Yeah, I know about cooking.
Yeah.
And swearing.
Yeah. No, I just... Yeah, you've got a really nice relationship with your kids, from what I can see. I'd say I have to caveat that, because it might be a load of shit. But yeah, it
is hard.
So what are the struggles, would you say? I mean, because again, there's that thing. There's so many different styles of parenting, isn't there? You've got the kind of like really, really strict, can't do anything, almost like abusive kind of, like really strong hand. Yeah. You've got the kind of really like, floaty flow.
Yeah, leave the kids to get up.
It's expressive. They've got to be expressive thoughting, and then there's kind of everything in between. I think. I am, and I wasn't not abusive hard, but I was hard on my kids. Yeah,
they would be like, if I said no, they wouldn't generally ask again. Well, they might do, but once they learned that. So I used to say to them, don't bother, I keep asking, because it's still going to be a no. And I'd absolutely no problem then go crying, and didn't bother me at all.
No.
Didn't bother me at all, it sounds a bit harsh. It bothered me, but it was like, I'm not going to give in when it's not the right thing to do.
So do you feel like the way that you were brought up by your parents, do you feel like that affected how you parented?
Yeah, 100%.
In what way, though?
I parented the same as what my parents parented me.
Yeah.
But I tried to add in what I felt like almost advice I'd maybe missed out on. And I was brought up, I had an amazing childhood, it was great, and my parents still alive, that's really amazing. But I tried to, because it's different now than like 30, 40 years ago, parenting. Back then it was a bit more...
militant.
A little bit more militant, and maybe... Yeah, my parents. I feel like my kids.
My parents.
I feel like they can come to me for advice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Ria. Well, I don't think I fully felt like I could do that with my parents.
No, I get that. What I find absolutely freaking fascinating with what you've just said is, I think. If you had, and of course, this doesn't feel like a eureka moment because it's just logical. But if you've got, you had a good childhood, and you clearly have a lot of love and respect for your parents, and therefore you've carried on that parenting style, and that I find I've not really thought much about that before, actually, but I feel like we might be scratching the surface a little bit there. I mean, as you know, my childhood was fucking awful. Ria's wasn't as great or as bad, you know.
Yeah.
And our parenting style, therefore, has not been really anything like our parents. So we almost like tried to rebel against our parenting style.
So have you done the opposite to what you were brought up like?
Yeah. And it's almost like, but in a really weird way, doing the opposite makes you kind of feel a bit like, I can see why it was hard. I can see why some of the choices were made, like, in mine and Ria's childhood. And it'd be interesting to now see how our kids Because I mean, look, I fucking love them to bits, obviously. They're my babies. But, yeah, I do find myself constantly saying, like, oh, we wouldn't have done that when we were your age.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have got away with doing that. I wouldn't have got away, that kind of thing. When I was your age, we didn't have any money. Like, we didn't have any pocket money. We didn't have PlayStations and things like that. And I wonder how that's going to affect them now with their kids.
It depends on how they want to parent. Like my sister parents completely opposite to me.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way or a good way.
Were you brought up together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to be like best mates when we were growing up.
Yeah.
Complete opposite, she parents. And always has done. That's fine. That's just the way she was. So it's funny how we got parented the same, but we parented our kids complete opposite ends of the spectrum.
That's really interesting. Because I just wonder whether or not. So I wonder if actually your sister was actually not. If she wasn't happy with her upbringing.
Could have been. Yeah, I don't know. No idea.
Because otherwise, why would she parent differently?
I think she just wanted the kids to be how they wanted to be and wear what they wanted to wear and do what they wanted to do when they wanted to do it. That was always her. I think that free spirits.
Yeah. No, fair enough. Fair enough.
Which is fine. I couldn't be doing with that though. It's like you go to bed at 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock. You're going to bed. I don't want to. No. You're going to bed. Yeah. Don't question it. No, that's it. I was very much like that.
Well, you see, with mine, I try and do that. And actually, the for the most, they're okay. But
they're older now anyway, aren't they?
They will question me. If I say, stop doing that, it will take like kind of 10, 15... No, that's really excessive. Like maybe like 3, 4 times.
Well, they're older, so they're proper like fully forming adults, aren't they? So they have their own ways, and so you have to sort of usher them more than actually
Yeah, no.
And actually sort of you still got to parent them, but I find when they're sort of in primary school, up before they just go to secondary school, you've got to properly
I know how school works.
Yeah. You've got to parent them properly, like proper parenting.
Yeah, but not when they go to secondary school.
Yeah, well you do, but it's more I found it more sort of you guide them a bit more. I don't know. I don't know if that makes any sense.
You kind of point them in the right direction and let them go.
Yeah, you sort of, and then when they come back, then you help them or if they need.
Yeah,
I've had all sorts of weird and wonderful conversations, which I will not be divulging on the podcast with my kids.
No, of course, yeah.
Most like outrageously hilarious conversations, which I would have had with my parents.
No, you should get them on.
Years.
They might like to divulge it.
Yeah, I tell you, there's some couple of beauties which would have people in stitches. Yeah. But no, the parenting is. I would I've got mates over the years that were going to have kids and maybe their partner was pregnant. Yeah. And I always say,
just to say,
are you going to say something ridiculous? Because if you are,
no, it's just that you say you had mates that were going to have kids and their partner was pregnant. I didn't know if you were aware that that's how it actually works.
No,
so if you are going to have kids, one of the kind of the actual one of the most.
I'm sorry about this fucking bullshit. You got to listen to.
One of the most important primary factors.
If you could see his sausage fingers waving around now,
is your wife being pregnant? But just wanted to clear that up.
Oh right, you don't. I thought you were going to divulge go further on how it works.
No, but I just it wasn't clear to me.
No, don't know where the bloody bean is. I don't even know what I was saying now, you fool. What was I talking about?
Well, you were saying that you had friends over the years.
Oh, that's right. And I always say friends over the years, not very many. And it's like having kids. And I'd say this openly. It sounds a little bit horrible, but it's not. Having kids are the best and worst thing you'll ever do.
Oh, God, yeah.
Because the lows are so fucking low.
Yeah. I know what you're going to say next.
What on...
I know what you're going to say next.
Don't point that little flipping chipolata thing in my face.
But the highs are so fucking high.
Right, I'll carry on what I was saying. You're being a dick tonight.
I know, I don't know why.
Do you know why he's being a dick, everyone? Because he's given up smoking.
Wow. Well, not just nicotine, mainly.
What, so the marijuana you're going to carry on? What are you on about?
Well, I just...
You don't even smoke?
No, it's just like, it's not just the vapour. I'm trying to give up
That's why you're being an arsey little shit, isn't it?
Probably, yeah. You're not the first person to say that today, actually. But it's I apologise. I apologise.
Fucking thing.
I apologise.
And like the best, because the highs are so amazing.
Yeah.
They're just extraordinary. The feelings that they can give you by a look or a smile or a word or I love you or just a hug. I remember I hugged my kids, during COVID, when COVID was back, when it was a thing.
Yeah.
Back then when like there was COVID around and it like existed and now it doesn't.
Mental.
I don't understand.
Yeah, no, it's mental.
And you weren't allowed to like.
Oh, it's like 2 metre rule and stuff like that.
And I remember you could after a certain period of time. I remember hugging my kids, and I remember now it was the most amazing, one of the most, probably if not the most amazing hug I've ever had in my life. Oh, wow. It was extraordinary. Like the feeling it gave me was quite extraordinary. I remember it was down on Crooklets Beach.
Oh, Crooklets.
It's okay, you can guess, but if you just listen, then
just wait a little bit.
Back off and have a fag. Do something. Like that. So, and then you have times where you're like, I remember chasing my eldest up the stairs when he was, I don't know how old he was, 12, 13, because he was back chatting.
Why were you doing that? Oh, chase it, I see.
Yeah, because he was back chatting, me and his mum. Yeah. And I just chased it. I think he tells a story of like, he ran up, but basically I almost flew to the top of the stairs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I think he was, as you make things up in your own mind about things, I think that's the story he plays back.
Yeah.
And I got hold of him, and I think I got hold of him by the scruff.
Yeah.
Something like that. And
sometimes they need that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. So, like, have you got like a fucking like a golden moment with your kids? It was like the best ever moment. Like,
that's a great question.
I know it is. That's why I asked it.
We need to pause this so you can have a fucking fag.
No,
you're being
an
good. Absolute dick. You're being. I'm not even joking.
You need to calm down.
I need to calm down.
Answer the fucking question.
Fucking square up to you in a minute, love. Fucking hell. One of the great. Do you know what? That hug during COVID or after or whenever COVID was a thing, when you're allowed to like do things, that's something that springs to my mind straight away.
Yeah. So that was like what, 3 years ago?
About that. Yeah, sort of 2.5, 3 years ago. Yeah.
What about worst ever? Like, where you've just been like, fuck me, I wish I didn't have kids. Steve, I'm just barging in just to say, look, thanks for listening. If you get a minute, drop onto Facebook, Insta, and all the other socials, and like, share, and comment. Thank you very much. Now back to us two waffling on. Have you ever thought that?
The other 1,005? No. It's been quite a few times. I can't. The nice thing is I can't remember anything specific, any sort of specific time. It's probably the pressure it puts on your relationship.
Oh God, yeah.
Actually, it's probably not. I can't remember a specific time to do with anything or with a relationship to do with the kids or this, like when I chased my eldest up the stairs.
Yeah.
So in hindsight, I look back at that. We actually laugh about it. It's quite funny.
Yeah.
But actually, it's the pressure it puts on your relationship.
And they changed. The old females, they changed, didn't
they? Yeah. Well, they're baking. They're baking something inside.
It's phenomenal.
You found where that spot is probably, maybe 3 times in your life.
The belly button, isn't it?
Yeah, the belly.
It's phenomenal.
And then, something's cooking inside you.
Yeah. But they never go back, do they? They never go back to, like, what they were like. It's...
But probably the same for the male. Probably don't go back to...
No, yeah, you're right.
But but females are bound to change.
Of course they are, because it's a physical thing that's happening. Yeah, physical.
Because it's like, if you're going to bake a Victoria sandwich in the oven.
Oh, a Victoria sandwich?
Yeah. If you're going to bake that in the oven, it's going to affect the oven, isn't it? It's sort of like, it tarnishes in the inside of the oven.
Yeah, if it spits a bit, maybe the jam. Oh, no, because you wouldn't put the jam inside while you're cooking it, would you?
God.
No.
Should we just say cake? Then
Yeah,
that's
let's just do
simplified. Or
cake.
bread.
Bread.
Cookies.
Yeah.
Or like a lasagna.
Oh, well, fucking hell. Yeah, okay, because a
Smashed
lasagna
up
was...
lasagna.
Yeah, well, normally I would cover... normally what I would do is I'd put tinfoil over the top of it, like...
Over the top of a lasagna?
Yeah, calm down.
That's a
calm
fucking podcast
down.
on itself.
Whilst it's cooking...
You being serious?
Yeah, calm the fuck down. And then whilst it's cooking, and then once it's kind of cooked, I'd then put the grill on for a bit, just to melt that cheese, and kind of, get that bit of a crusty top.
Is this back in the day when you used to smoke crack? What are you talking about?
What? I just don't like spitting in the oven. I don't like...
That's not a euphemism.
I don't like it. I just don't like it.
No spitting in my oven.
No spitting in my oven. So that's interesting. Okay, so...
Don't disregard silly comments that you're making.
They're not silly.
Yeah, they are. You put foil over the top of a lasagna.
Yeah, why
Look at
not?
your lips. Why are your lips moving? You can't fucking mimic what I'm going to say. You haven't got your hand up my arsehole like fucking Keith and Orville.
Why not?
Because I don't want your hand up my arsehole.
Why can't you put tinfoil on lasagna?
Because I'd never heard... that sounds bonkers to me, because what you do is when you're baking it, is you're forming a crust on the top.
That's what you do with the grill at the end.
No. It's completely different. All you do is brown in the top.
Look, mate, who's the fucking chef here?
I hate to point out the obvious.
Exactly.
Anyway, so let's move on from that most obnoxious... I think you've just said that to just be a prick because you need a cigarette.
Oh, my God. Oh, I'm unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Okay, so, and then that's that. So that, I find that really interesting as far as, like, I think we've got... I almost feel like your parenting style is kind of what I try and instill with my kids, but I don't manage it. And what's even more interesting is that mine and my wife's parenting style is also very different. And that can often be a point of conflict. And I suppose,
You need good cop, bad cop. I was trying to say that properly. No, you need that.
Yeah. Well, I know you do.
I've had a jacket potato tonight. He's repeating on me something
What did
terrible.
you have on it?
I like tuna and mayonnaise. I didn't have any. So I just had cheese, coleslaw. I love the hot cold.
Yeah.
Salad. I had some hummus.
Nice.
And some onion chutney. So just so it was sort of separate. But on the potato was butter, limited butter as I shit myself.
Yeah.
And then cheese.
Okay.
And then all the garnishes were around the...
So then you kind of like did like a little pick and mix buffet.
Yeah, exactly. I just feel it's a bit of indigestion.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But Gaviscon maybe.
Gaviscon.
Yeah.
What song is that? Gaviscon.
Oh, I've never heard that in my life.
Oh, Babylon by David Gray.
Oh, okay.
Gaviscon.
Does he do that?
You've heard of David Gray. Please, for the love of God, tell me you've heard of David Gray.
Is he like Macy's brother? Is it? It's not.
We've gone so fucking far off.
It's not. It's not Macy's, is it?
I think I need a bloody cigarette.
And it's not. I'm just trying to think. Yeah. And it's
just David Gray. Just David Gray.
David Gray. It's not Christian's son.
Christian's son?
Christian Grey.
No, that's
yeah.
That's from older 50 Shades.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of all the Greys I know, but
yeah,
there's
but
a lot
you're
of
running out.
Be all night.
What were we even talking about?
Parenting.
I gather that part.
Yeah.
Oh, I said about having a jacket. Oh, that's right. Sorry, I interrupted. I said about a jacket potato because it feels like I've got indigestion coming.
Yeah, but
so
you
might be a
haven't.
burping.
It's probably in your head.
No, it's in my chest, not my head. It's definitely in my chest, right in my fucking left tip.
Yeah. Okay.
So what memories have you got? What's like a highlight of kids with your kids? One particular thing that you can...
Well, yeah, it's interesting. I think, like, I've always, when my kids were born, I was incredibly emotional. Like, when they, it's about me now. But
I'm doing what you do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When my kids were born, I was just like crying. They're just amazing. And but also, not being able to do much for your wife, like when she's kind of, excreting the children.
Delicious
wordage.
So were you there at the...
Yeah, of course.
Why, of course?
Yeah, I mean, where else would I be?
What, at the head end?
Oh no, I was at the business end.
No, I was taking the business. I was taking the Mickey then.
Yeah.
No, I was there as well for both mine. So no, but some people don't like that sort of thing.
No, I get it.
Or maybe you were down the pub probably, or
you put it in there.
Buying fags.
Buying fags, yeah.
Sorry, love. Crack.
Sorry. Yeah, just hold it in. And do you know? Yeah, and obviously with my eldest, everything was new. So I didn't really, as far as I'd never done it before.
Yeah, there is no manual.
No, there's no manual.
Which sounds completely ridiculous, but like you're literally like, I'm responsible for this sort of living.
But there's a lot of pressure, isn't there?
Yeah.
Like I remember,
yeah, boy,
fucking babies coming out. Like I think Rhea had to stay overnight. I turn up in the morning. I had to bring a fucking pushchair and a car seat with me, and then they're like, right, there you go, you're all good to go.
Yeah.
You fucking walk out of a baby.
Yeah. I know, you walk in with no baby, and then you walk out with a baby, like...
What the fuck do I do now?
Because how old are you when you had...
Ping?
Yeah.
Well, she's 17 now. I'm 39 this year.
Oh, so 22?
Yeah. So
Same
quite
as
young.
me.
Yeah. So it's crazy.
Was that when you had the curly hair? Big forehead and curly hair?
No. Curly hair was kind of prepubescent. Like, yeah.
We just had a big forehead.
Oh, wait. I was born with a big forehead. I mean, it's actually not funny.
Don't say that.
I was born with a big forehead. So it's all right. And then, so
you're 22.
Beautiful fucking moments, and they're funny and they say silly things, but then there is a lot of judgment. There's a lot of if they're being crying, people look at you funny. There's everyone's got an opinion on what you should do, what you shouldn't do, what you should feed them, what you shouldn't feed them.
That's quite hard, that bit, because there's so much being thrown at you.
Yeah,
and it must be even worse for people that have kids now. There's so much line, you're scrolling through your feed.
Oh, God,
yeah. Baby stuff. If you've got,
and the rules change, don't they? Yeah. The rules change.
Can have cheese, can't have cheese, whatever you can.
1 minute it's acceptable to run your kids over. The next minute it's not. Do you know what I mean? It's like, what can you do? You can glass them, you can't glass them. It's really confusing. And then, but yeah, I had. Grace, our middle one, she's completely different. Again, really strange. She's not strange. It was just strange how different they were. And then obviously we had a gap, and had our boy, who's now 11. And again, fuck me, totally different.
Were you more relaxed with the third? So obviously I've only got... I've only got two, so I was more relaxed with the second. But you even more
even more relaxed.
You leaving him running around just in pants in the street.
I remember...
With all the local nonces.
Oh, yeah, he loves the local nonces, to be fair. Horrendous moment, I shut his fingers in a car door when he was I don't know, probably about 2.
Jesus, dude.
Yeah. I mean, horrible.
Did you tell him off for putting his hands in the door?
Yeah, what are you fucking doing?
Yeah, good.
Sent him to his room.
Don't put up with him. Stop crying.
Stop fucking crying.
Yeah,
Get
take
up
yourself
to
to
your
the
bedroom.
hospital if you knew it was your fault for putting your hand in the door.
Yeah, so that's obviously a moment.
I did that to my dog's tail, dear old Ken dog.
Oh,
when he was young, and he literally the end of he had a long. He was cockapoodle, more cocker.
Yeah,
there is King Kenny
like you.
And his tail was always quite fluffy, but if you looked at it properly or grabbed hold of the end of it, I'm not sure why you'd grab hold of it. That sounds weird. There was a kink in it.
It's because you
shut it in the Shut up, dog. It's your fault.
What are you
long
doing
tail.
that for? Yeah. No, I get that.
So come on, give me a specific, because you're saying about when they're born. I can remember both of them being born. It's magical. But have you got a specific time when you can say, bang, immediate, sort of happiness? So you ask me, sort of.
Yeah.
And I suppose you've got 3 kids, so you'd like. Well, I don't want to say that because.
No, do you know what? I think actually, I don't mind saying. It's weird, isn't it, how all this kind of like merges together. I wasn't really very present as a parent up until probably about kind of 7 years ago. I was incredibly like work orientated, and just wasn't really around. And I don't. I'm saying
you weren't really round.
No, around.
Oh, around. Sorry, I was going to say
because I was always at work. Because I thought, and it's funny, this all kind of connects together. Like I thought that's what I was meant to do as a dad.
Yeah,
I was meant to be.
I worked loads.
Out fucking grafting, getting a coin in,
coin in the old slot.
Yeah, and as it turns out, that's that wasn't very supportive to my wife. Wasn't obviously probably missed some key.
But what? So what do you do?
Well, I don't know what the answer is. Would I do it?
Because you've got to still go back. You still got to bloody work.
Yeah. And but I think there's a lot of pressure, isn't there? Like I would have quite liked to have stayed at home with the kids, actually. Like and I think the law and not the law. That's the law. I think society is changing. Because it's always been very much. The woman stays at home, the man goes to work, and I think you get parental leave and stuff like that now. And I'm not saying, that I want to be a stay-at-home dad forever, but I really would have liked to have, maybe spent some maternal time, with my kids. So really, sorry, I've given you a politician's answer, but
you do very often do. You'd like
my kids.
You would be an amazing politician.
These last...
Apart from you wouldn't be very good at taking bungs, because you'd be like, thank you very much, everyone that's trying to bung me. That sounds wrong.
You fucking love being bunged. For the last 2 or 3 years, my kids have been phenomenal.
Sorry to interrupt, Dave. This is Dave speaking. Just to say, with all you lovely listeners out there, if you could just spend a little bit of your time to support us. We love you listening and thank you very much. But if you could go onto all our socials, Instagram, Facebook, and all those, help us like, subscribe and share it. That would be amazing. Thank you very much. Love you all.
I've been quite emotional with it. My eldest is at college now. She's just fucking motoring on. She's starting to learn to drive at the moment. She's just passed her theory.
Yeah. Good effort.
Middle one, she won't mind me saying, was a complete fucking arsehole last year. Really went off the rails. We thought, what the fuck? This year, completely fucking turned it round, smashing all of her predictions. She's not
like Septic Peg.
No, she's not Septic Peg. But, really fucking pulling her pants up and getting on. Max, my boy, he's had some struggles. But again, you don't know how to help them. That's what I'm trying to get at, in a really long-rounded way. So you don't,
But you do know how to help them, but it's trying to put it across...
Because you want them to do it themselves, don't you?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. You just got to guide them through and just give them advice.
Yeah.
And hopefully... I've always been like... People will say, your kids are really nice, they're polite. And I'm like, hopefully I've said the right things at the right time.
Yeah.
And not been too abusive.
So have you got any, top tips? If there's any, parents out there, or maybe parents to be...
I'm called to answer that question, but you haven't answered...
Oh, God.
A moment. You keep being a politician.
A moment?
A negative and positive. You've got a moment where you can just go, there we are.
Yeah, so I think...
Oh, God.
Well, no, but I don't think I can have one singular moment.
No, I know. Yeah,
I mean,
of course.
That's what my real...
There's loads of moments you could say.
Yeah, my real time is when I spend quality time with my kids, where it's not... there's no bravado, there's no There's no like, it's like really nice, you know.
We're just hanging out watching a bit of TV.
Yeah, like I've been out to dinner with them every now and then, you know, and stuff like that. And it's just
so
nice.
you don't allow them to eat at home.
No, we only eat out.
So you only eat out.
Yeah, only eat out.
Okay.
Only like 3-star Michelin.
Right. Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Go a long way every day.
Yeah. Tiverton. Yeah,
Tiverton. And what about a negative? Because you still haven't answered the question.
Yeah, like there's a fair few negatives as well. To be fair, you know, we've had problems with you know, alcohol. We've had problems with bullying.
And what about the kids?
We've had problems with, you know, with bullying and alcohol and bad choices and stuff like that. And it is frustrating, but I think what's really nice is seeing them recover from that and actually change and develop.
Like you said about Grace.
Yeah,
She's absolutely
100%.
tearing the arse out of it now, isn't she?
Yeah.
She's amazing.
Yeah, loving the life she lives. Yeah.
Top tips.
So someone sat there listening to this on the toilet.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, you listen to it on the toilet.
I'll do the lip thing.
Wife's in the bath. They're on the toilet next to her. No, they're not doing that, Dave. Next to it. It, them, her, or he, she, it, we, they.
It's too much, Steve.
They're like, oh, do you know what? Here, babe. Here, Sharon. Listen to Dave and Steve. They're just about to give us some top tips for baby. And she's like, oh, go on then. Go on, let me listen.
Baby sounds a little bit like a crackhead or something. So it sounds like he needs to go to rehab first.
Go on then. Put him on loudspeaker. Put him on loudspeaker.
Well,
go on then.
What am I putting the voice on? Well, Sharon, first of all, you need to. Your husband needs to go into rehab because he sounds like he's got a bit of an addiction there.
Yeah.
One of the main things I would say is stick to your guns. Don't, if the kids are nagging, don't say, for fucking love of God, don't say, oh, it's easier to give in. No, it fucking ain't.
No.
And don't get me wrong, it is seriously hard to stick to your guns. Right, seriously hard. I was like, no fizzy. The kids had no fizzy. A treat at Christmas would be lemonade.
What about
Coke? I think the first time was when they were about 7.
Whoa, hang on. So did they not even have like the Haribo Super Fantastic sweets?
Sweets would be just as a treat.
I mean, that's pretty cool. And what are they like with sweets now? Are they like sweets?
Not too. Do you know what? They're not.
Obviously, don't lie because people will do investigations.
Yeah, they'll do investigations. Not too bad.
Not too bad.
And they're not that big on sort of fizzy and stuff like that.
No. What about fizzy Haribo?
Fizzy. I haven't really overanalyzed their sweet selection, but if they did have them, I'll be smashing them anyway. I love the fizzy Haribo.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say don't give in. Just give in every so often. If they're nagging, tell them to go away. Tell them, go away. I don't want to hear it. Go away. That's the one top tip. I would be like, don't give in.
No, okay. All right.
Because then the line, I'm drawing a line in the sofa now.
In the sofa or on the sofa?
In it. Because I'm pushing in.
Oh, okay. Go on, yeah.
I wasn't originally. Because they know the line then. And then when they cross that line and you give them a bit of rope,
yeah, then
they respect you more for it.
Okay.
I think.
All right, no, I like that. So what, okay, and then I think another question that Sharon's got is what, if you had to do something different, what would it be?
If you had to do something different.
Like if you got chance to go back and do something different, what would it be?
Oh my God. Do you know, I actually don't know. Because I was like, I work lots, but I enjoyed my work and still do loads. And I spent a hell of a lot of time with my kids. I dedicated so much time to my kids when I was off and never really did anything for myself anyway. It's not like poor me, because it's not at all, so that's why I chose to do that.
Yeah.
But I don't think I would change anything. I'm not sure. Nothing springs to mind. I don't want to say I was a perfect parent, because I really wasn't.
No, but I do feel like you I get that vibe from you, though. That knowing your kids, like I get a good vibe from you. Like,
I used to lose my temper, but not like I wouldn't smashing
regret
stuff
it.
up. No. Sometimes maybe I think, God, I wish I hadn't flown off the handles quick. But again, when I think that, I reference back to my dad. My dad flew off the handle. Never beat me. Never, just give me a bollocking. Or I tell you what, smacking.
Yes.
That's a good one.
Smacking.
Good smack round the chops.
So you used to get smacked around the chops?
No. I used to have a slip. I used to have not hit round the face. A slip around the back of the legs.
Yeah, slipper and belt. I used to get on the buttocks. Yeah.
On the buttocks.
Yeah. On the derriere.
No, slipper on the back of the legs. Mum would be like, "Wait till your father gets home." I'd be like, "Oh shit!" And I'll be absolutely terrified, genuinely terrified.
I think that is a good thing though, because it instills. Like, I know people have got really like mixed opinions on that kind of stuff, but I do feel like it. It did work.
I think so. Yeah, I was, and me and my wife at the time, it was always my wife. Always, she was like the more of the good cop.
And you. Let me guess. You. Let me guess. You were the bad cop, weren't you?
I was more of the bad cop.
More of the bad cop.
Yeah, I was just putting words in to make it different.
Yeah.
Which worked. It worked really well. What would be your top tip
for Sharon?
Sharon.
Yeah.
All right there, Steve. Brian's in the crack den again.
And why am I doing the phone thing? I went,
and I'm due very soon. What top tip you got? Because Brian's off his tits on crack again. When baby comes along, when I pop it out, what for Cornish? What can you give me? Tips wise.
Hey.
I'm going to put the phone down now.
Sharon, very good question. Thanks for calling in. I mean, my biggest advice is probably not to get strung up on trying to have this, copying what everyone else does, the latest trends and everything.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, apart from the fact it gets dark, you've got to. You're right.
Just wondered. You haven't done an analogy.
No, I'm. Yes, because you've ruined it for me.
Have I?
Yeah. I actually didn't sleep much last night, so let me just go back to Sharon.
Sorry, Sharon. Sorry.
Yeah, don't get fucking bogged down on trying to conform to people and the ways that everyone else does it. Oh, we used to do it like that.
Yeah.
Just do. You've got this beautiful bundle of joy. They'll grow up so freaking quickly. Everyone's got little nuances. They'll have their little quirks. Just give them a beautiful life. Love them, hold them, and just get them ready. I mean, I hope that helps you, Sharon.
Oh, thanks, Steve. I'll get Brian out crack then, and when baby comes along, we'll love him. Is that all I got to do?
Basically, yeah.
Do I feed him?
Don't have to feed him if you don't want to.
Oh, Brian will be pleased. There'll be more money for his crack.
Yeah.
But that's a really good point, though. Just don't pay attention too much.
No.
A little bit, but don't get sucked into doing this. You've got to be like this. And that's general life anyway, isn't it? Don't be your own thing. Do your own thing. As long as there's loads of love. If Brian's out in the crack den, as long as he's coming home not too late.
Yeah.
And as long as he's not getting the kid to smoke crack.
Make sure he's got clean hands.
Yeah, clean hands. Yeah. Sharon will clean them off first.
Yeah.
In some way or another. That's good. It is.
And for me, if I had to go back and do it again, I think I would probably be a little bit calmer. Not be so quick to lose my rag, and probably spend a lot more time with them. A lot more quality time. I've always been a bit of a probably making up for. I wouldn't say I've been absent, but making up for when I've not been there with, I don't know, presents or gifts or holidays or things like that. Do you know what I mean?
So you'd buy gifts. You'd be there, you'd be present, but you'd buy a gift thinking that was what you needed to do.
Yeah,
right?
Like I wish I'd played football more or gone down and to the beach and I don't know, looked at the rock pools and stuff. Do you know, like proper wholesome like stuff. Like, I didn't do a lot of that. And I massively regret that. But I do have 3 beautiful children. And
you
actually,
can't regret it though, because you worked really hard and you wouldn't have.
Yeah, well,
Sort of
that's
where
it.
you're at now. So
yeah, so when I say I regret it, I think if I did get another chance, but then you don't know, do you? And I think I just have to look at them now. They're healthy, they're intelligent, they're beautiful, and I think I don't think, I know that they're happy, and they will, and they appreciate life, and that's that what more can you ask for?
because obviously you're still with your wife.
Yeah.
And I split up mine sort of 5 odd years ago, so that changed the dynamic.
Yeah.
And they lived with me for a period for whatever reason. Then their mum, and that's been quite hard. It's been really hard to try to stay connected sometimes.
Yeah, it must be really difficult.
But then again, no, it's not in a way, because you're so your phone's in your hand, you can message, you can call, but just to be sort of in their lives and be present can be quite difficult.
Do you think you have to try harder? Or not try harder, make more of an effort? Because they're not just always here when you wake up in the morning.
I think, I think, you do, You do, there's no other, you do have to,
Yeah. And I imagine that, I imagine, but that's nice in a way, isn't it? Because you're not, again, when I get up in the morning, I come downstairs, one of the little fucking scroats will be like making a coffee or something like that, leaving the tea bags on the side or something, one of those.
And what are the kids doing?
Yay! That was Sharon, she was doing that.
Sorry, Ria.
But no, I get that. But I think that's really meaningful. I mean, your son phoned just before we went, and that's meaningful. He's gone. Oh, I need to speak to my dad. I want to speak to my dad. I think that's something really beautiful about that.
Yeah, I'm very close always been really close to my kids. We've got a really good relationship. Like, it's the best part of my life.
Yeah,
the relationship I got with my kids is the best part of my life.
Yeah.
I love working. I love doing this podcast. Love my girlfriend. I got an amazing mum and dad, amazing mates.
Yeah.
But the best part of my life is the relationship I got with my kids.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They will be there forever. And I think that's a takeaway, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, the takeaway is don't have fucking kids.
Yeah. No, they're amazing.
Yeah.
They'll be there forever, but just don't fucking smother them. Give them the space they need to develop. They're like a plant. They need to grow. You just need to give them the right conditions in which to grow.
The appropriate water.
Yeah.
And also...
Etaborem, Selvientos, Senti Vachinki. May the children grow. And always... No, I thought we were doing that now.
You're talking absolute bollocks. I wanted to say one last thing.
Go on.
Get your sausage fingers away. Make those small moments. But appreciate the small moments you have with your kids. Those, like we said earlier on in the particular, they might look at you and a smile, or
yes.
You get to sit down for 2 minutes to watch TV with them. You get a little hug. You get an embrace.
Yeah. Don't overlook those moments.
Yeah, definitely. Yes.
Doesn't need to be the ginormous.
When you said you were buying things.
Yes.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
But you sort of appreciate that maybe now that there was different ways to...
Oh, yeah. It's just those little hugs.
Appreciate that time you have with your kids, because before you know it, they're like... It's mad.
They're gone. Yeah. They've moved out. They've done whatever.
It's quite sad in a way to look back.
I agree.
Because it goes so quick.
Well, yours have moved out.
Yeah.
So you know how it feels. I don't know. Mine are now thinking about driving and stuff like that. And it's.
It goes quick though, doesn't it?
Yeah, super quick.
Anyway, so
we've got to go.
Kids are amazing. Kids are great. It's just incredibly stressful, and enjoy those little moments.
Yeah, and that is thanks to Sharon and Brian for calling in. And yeah, we'll see you again very fucking soon. Bye.
Bye. Love you. This is our outro.
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 Outro. This is our outro with automatic fading.